So what do you do when you have been falsely accused of sexual misconduct, a sex crime, rape, different types of allegations that come up from men day after day in a world that doesn't empower this, and you're panicked, you think your reputation is about to get ruined, you think everything that you worked for is about to go downhill? What do you do? What do you do right now? And how do you fix it? It's what we're talking about, so listen up. Unfortunately for men, this is all too common, and it's becoming more common. This is something that has happened to me. It's happened to many, many men that I know. It's a tragedy, and there's a right way to handle it. I'm gonna tell you right now that about 10 years ago, it started happening to me. I handled it wrong, and it blew up in my face. After that point, I became obsessed with what I can do, what I can teach men. Sadly, since that time, 10 years ago, it happened to multiple men in my men's groups. You can check it out in the links down below. I really recommend you joining it. You need that right now. You need that guidance. You need to not do anything stupid, but we'll get to that. Now, the beauty of me going through that experience about 10 years ago and having it not come out the best and having men's groups that I actively worked in is we learned how to handle this in the right way. And one of the things that I got to tell you, and I think you know right now, is you have to take it seriously. This is not something that you take lightly. This is not something where you think you can just do by yourself. This is something that you have to take absolutely 100% seriously, and if you don't, well, then I don't know where to start with this video, because it's probably not going to help you. So you're going to need three things, and I don't have any compromises in this. One, you have to have a men's group. I'm going to tell you why here in a second. Two, you need legal representation. I will also get to that in just a moment. And three, you are going to need some sort of therapy or mental health outlet. You've got to have that. Now, let me just break this down expense-wise, because it could get pretty expensive. Your lawyer is going to be the most expensive thing, and this is where I really need you to make a decision right now that you will do anything to get the proper legal representation that you need. There's all sorts of videos that I have on how to find proper lawyers. I would actually say if you download the Divorced Dad's Guide to Child Custody, I think I got that right, but I wrote it. It will tell you a lot about selecting a lawyer. You are not selecting a family law attorney for this. You are selecting perhaps a family law attorney, but also now, for this specific case, you will not be selecting a family law attorney unless it has to do with family law, like a false child abuse claim for one of your kids in a custody battle and so on. But most likely you're going to need a criminal defense attorney. Now, the process of finding a lawyer is going to be the same, and that's where that PDF is going to be valuable. But you want to be able to get a lawyer who is experienced. You want to be able to get a lawyer who's not going to be lazy and not drop the ball right away. Remember, in that PDF, we talk about an expensive lawyer can still be a bad lawyer. So we want to find a good lawyer. You want them to have references from other lawyers. You want to be able to speak to their other clients. You might not have the time to research all of those things, but then again, this is why you need a men's group. A men's group is going to be one of the easiest outlets to get immediate and access to the point resources for what you need to go through your legal process to make sure you have all your bases covered. And not only that, it's going to help you out therapeutically, it's going to help you out with your mentality, it's going to help you out through the whole entire process. The men's group is going to be most likely the most affordable part of all of this. My men's group, if you pay $65 a month, as I'm making this video in July of 2020, that's what will get you what you need. A massive support system that's 24/7. You get support calls all the time. You get plugged in. Now you might be going, man, I can't afford $65 a month. I gotta hire this lawyer. It's gonna be out of control. I can't afford $65 a month. You can. You need to do this now. Trust me, you need that support. The second most expensive thing is going to be therapy. Now, there are sliding scale therapies, and there's lots of great therapists out there and people doing good work that might be actually doing it for free. So it may not be the second most expensive thing. Therapists can range anywhere from $400 an hour to $65 an hour. The main thing that you want is you want somebody that you can click with. Now let's go through the purposes of all these different things. The first thing that we're going to talk about today is legal representation and why you need it. You need somebody to navigate the law for you. That means if you're asked to talk to the police, you shouldn't do that. You should have your attorney do it. If you're asked to talk to another lawyer or be a witness or take a polygraph or talk to a judge or a jury and so on, you want to talk to your lawyer before that, and you want your lawyer to talk to them. You don't want to be doing that. Now, the number one reason why you need a lawyer is you need to understand the law and what might be happening to you. So, Most of the time in these false claims, they can get dismissed easily if you have a skilled lawyer who is used to dealing with this. This is why you need to hire a good lawyer. Don't hire a friend. Don't do a favor for a favor. Sell whatever you need to sell. Sell whatever you need to sell to hire the lawyer that's going to get you out of this mess. Believe me, you want to sell something or your arm or your leg or whatever to get the $10,000 or whatever it takes to get this lawyer to dismiss it, to just be like, oh man, that's gone. Because what you don't want is to hire a friend or file something yourself or go in and talk to the police unprepared and end up in a court case that is going to either put you in jail, or to defend yourself you need $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 just to basically end up taking a plea, having a felony charge on your record, and having your life suck. So you need to be able to hire that lawyer. I know you don't want to pay the money for it. Sell whatever you need to sell to get the lawyer that you need. This is not a case where you can do it yourself. Few other things is just don't talk to anybody. Don't put anything in writing. Don't send text messages. Don't try and plead and beg. This is a time where when these claims come out, and if these claims start to be told to anybody, even friends and gossip, stop communication, cut it off, keep all of your communication over the phone, make sure you're not being recorded, all that sort of stuff. You want nothing that you say with your panic and your fear of what you're having right now to end up in a courtroom to be used against you. You definitely don't want to talk to the police. You want to cooperate, but you want your lawyer to do that. You definitely don't want to answer questions or just do something that's volunteer work to help clear your name. Man, if these accusations are being pressed on you or being assumed about you in any way, you want your lawyer to talk for you. Now, in divorce and child custody and so on, there are some cases where you may not need to hire a lawyer, but these cases where there are false abuse claims, false sex claims, false anything that could end up criminal, get a lawyer. That's the next option. Get a lawyer. So why do I need a mental health professional? I've never needed that before. I'm fine. I'm just angry. I'm not suicidal. I'm not whatever. Look, you are going through an enormous amount of stress and something that you probably have never been through before. Hopefully, that sort of stress makes you do crazy things, think crazy things, puts you in denial about your personal state, and you want somebody to just take you through it. Man, if you have to spend $200, $300, $400 a month to ensure your mental sanity with a crushing amount of stress, do it. Now, therapy can be tough. It may be hard to find a good therapist or a counselor or a psychologist or psychiatrist, any of those things. But I want you to give it a shot. When you start putting your mental health as a priority in this, a lot of good things are going to happen. It may not solve the case and get you dismissed immediately, but what it will do is put you in a headspace where you will not cause damage, or hopefully won't cause damage. It will put you in a better headspace to where the probability will be that you can think clearly, you can remember, you can enter into high stress situations and end up good. If you do have to go through an interview with your lawyer present, of course, or a mediation or some sort of hearing trial, what say you, with your lawyer present, it's going to help you big time. You need to have this. Now, the other thing too is men don't like to go to therapy. They don't like to get advice from other people. I get it. I totally understand. This is the time where you need it. This is the time of massive stress in a situation that you have never been through before that could possibly get harder and more mind-bending and seeing your whole world collapse. That being said, you want to have that in your back pocket. Now, if you don't need a therapist or psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor, what have you, just take my word for it. You have that security there. It's very, very important. Now, last but not least, let's go to the men's group. So if there's one thing in this that is the most important, it is a men's group. And I'm going to tell you why. Because your lawyer, fundamentally important. If there's a problem with that, if there's something that he's not doing right, if you may not need one, if he or she is messing up, if they're making mistakes, if they're being lazy or whatever, your men's group will be able to support you with that. Also, you need a men's group because when legal things go wrong, but it is not directly legal affecting your case, your criminal case, your case to clear your name, you can't call your lawyer all the time because it'll be $250 an hour or whatever it is. And also, he may not pick up the phone. You get in with a men's group, that's 24-hour support. That is a support system. That is a backbone for you. The next reason is your therapist is there to help you achieve mental health and help you process this whole thing. Your therapist will not be there for you when your case takes a wrong direction, gets turned upside down, your reality implodes, and it may not actually be imploding, but these things happen. Your men's group is there for you with that. Your men's group is there for you the hour before you have to go into court while your lawyer's in the bathroom preparing stuff or not talking to you, trying to focus on whatever. Your men's group is going to be on the phone with you. Your men's group may come to the courthouse with you. Your men's group is going to be there after it's over. Your men's group is going to be able to help you process this entire thing 6 months down the road when it's totally over. You need a support system. Now, the obvious reason of why you will need a support system is because a men's group, especially like the one that we have, has on hand guys all over the world who've been through the same situation as you and have beaten it. And they beat it by being smart. They beat it by hiring the right attorney. Having that attorney work for them only legally, not therapeutically, not inefficiently fighting. There are guys all around the world in our men's group who also help you handle getting your life back together. The enormous amount of stress and the blows that it takes to you, how you might have to find another job, how you might have to bring it up to different employers, how you apply for an apartment or a home afterwards, in case any of this stuff does go on your record. You want guys who have been there and done that and can take you through it. And most importantly, you want guys who can stop this, prevent this from going any further, and make it in a thing of your past so that you can gain power and strength through your life. I'm going to tell you this right now, that it is proof within my men's group that you can have the experience of this happening. You can have some of the worst outcomes that you can imagine and build an amazing life from that. But most importantly, we can prevent a lot of this. If you have been accused of a sexual allegation, something that's going to ruin your reputation, something that might end you up in jail, something that might completely break up your family and ruin your life, check out the links down below. Sign up for Men's Development Excellence. Like I said, in July of 2020, when I'm recording this, it's $65 a month. This thing is going to save your life. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the video down below. You can also email me at steve@austinmensdevelopment.com. But sir, I am talking to you. Let's get to action. Let's get to work. Let's fix this, because when it comes to finding the potential of you in a tragic situation like this, that is exactly what I do.